right, I couldn't help myself. We're going to go through just a practical example of Kanban boards. We simplified it, and I'm going to show you burn down charts. You know a little bit about this, but I'm going to teach you, and we're going to work through like why whip limits are so important to Kanban boards. And let's just face it, life, okay? Because you can only eat so many marshmallows at a time is what I want you to understand. All right, so let's play the game. I made a simple Kanban board. Got a backlog. Look at all these items over here. They're roughly ranked. We got a dev section, meaning like got to do the work, right? Whatever development is for your bailiwick or whatever your world is, making Subway sandwiches or, you know, doing code or whatever it is, you're doing something, right? Then there's QA right here where we're going to fix it or check it, make sure that it's good. Go to UAT, make sure things are okay. We're obviously going to find issues, bugs, whatever you want to call them. And then done, like ready for production over here. Like let's release it if we want to. All right, so normally with Kanban, right? Normally there's no iterations, but let's, and it's just continuous flow, but let's just play like we have 10 things in a backlog and that's all we're being paid for, okay? And so we have a normal burn down chart. Now, normal burn down charts, what's the purpose if you don't know? Let's draw a little picture right here. Normally what they do is like every day, if it's burned down, disregard that little dot, is we want to say like, oh, we have 10 things. So we make a little dot there. Then at the end of the day, we say, boom, we have this many, 9. And then the next day, we still got 9. And then we got 8. And then we got 8 again. And then we got 6 done. And 6 and 6 and 5 and 4 and da. With the goal of burning down, right? You're going to see about landing a plane right now. Like we're trying to measure. And so whatever picture we can show is like how much work is actually left. Now we can have the theoretical, right? That's like, hey, it's right here to go down there, and then we can see the actual. So the idea of a burn down chart is to be able to see the work as it goes down. Like how much do we have left? There's a burn up chart. It basically just flips it. How much have we done? And it goes upwards. We're going to learn about it, but that's theoretically what it looks like. So that makes sense. Like halfway through, we'd see like, oh, we've got this much work done. We have this much left. This is where we should be. Oh no. All right. Oh no. So as I've scribbled, let's go and put it into relative practice. Let's erase all these dotty dots and we'll go off through here, right? So we're following it. All right, so day 1, we come to work. And let's just say we got 2 people that are developers, doers, peoples, and we got 1 QA tester. All right, cool, that's cool. You see the faces? Joe, whatever, in the dev world, 1 QA tester. So what happens? People come to work. They take the little cards out there. They're super excited. They do their work. Blah, 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 blah. They're doing it. Maybe at the end of the day, this QA guy right now is just sitting, twiddling thumbs, like watching, excited. End of the day, 1 dude finishes. Awesome. Other dude finishes. Okay, what do? They throw it over here, and they throw it into QA. Sweet. And then what do they each dude do? He pulls his work in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got to add more, 2 more cards. Not a problem. We got 2 more cards. These seem to be the highest priority. That's how Kanban works. Man, we got some new ideas. There you go. Sweet. All right, so what happens day 2? All right, so at the end of day 1, let's make our little, what do you call it? Our little dotty dot. So end of day 1, how much work is done? We had 10 things on the backlog. Teams are rolling. End of day 1, we got 10. So boom, we got a dot there. All right, so we know it's still in process. All right, so day 2, these dudes go off, blah, 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 blah. There's only 1 dude, right? So he's working on this. He's got this in his like little to-do, so that's not so great. Now he's going to find an issue. Like what if he finds an issue here? Oh God, I got some bugs because he's QA and stuff, and he's trying to fix it and do all that stuff. Great. So he's working this stuff. But while this dude on the second day, oh, he finishes something, he drops it in there, and then he grabs another one. All right, and this guy's still working. So end of day 3, or day 2 right now, this guy's working on here, this one right here, this shaky one. And at the end of day 2, what do we got? At the end of day 2, how much have we completed? All right, let's get it going. And really, at the end of day 2, we're right here. Boom. Okay, cool. So end of day 2, now we go to day 3. This dude who was working on his stuff finishes his stuff. He throws it in there. Maybe this guy has some issues. He finally finishes. Bang. He finally finishes something cool. Then he starts working on this, and we'll put these other ones that are down there. Now the other developer pulls in here. They both finish their jobs that day. They throw them in there. This guy finds some issues. Maybe he starts working on 2 things at the same time. He finds a bunch of issues. These guys bring it in right here. They keep working. All right, now as you can see, like this guy's got to go back and figure all this stuff out, and his work is slower. So can you imagine what's going to happen as we extrapolate that out? Where's the work getting caught up? It's getting caught up in QA, right? So this guy's trying to debug and figure things out, and he might go back to this guy to be like, hey, I need some help figuring out, and they work through it. And so over time, what's probably going to happen is, it's going to go very, very slowly, right? The actual production. So maybe they get down to 9, right? 9 for a couple days, 9 for a couple days, bang, 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 8. As these things keep stacking up, like these guys keep doing work, they keep throwing it over here, they keep doing it. They got 2 people. Maybe this guy finishes it. Okay, I got it done. This guy throws it in there. He tries to get it done. Boom, boom, boom. They're done. And these guys are empty, but QA is like overwhelmed. Now, what's going to happen at the end? All right, as I ramble. Like, what's going to happen at the end? Because we got to get done. Like, these guys are out of work. We only have 10 left. At the end, we're going to, like, throw all the resources in, like, frantically go there. So it's going to, like, be, hey, 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 how's it going? How's it going? Things are all going okay. Then, down at the bottom. Now, in reality, the question we got to ask ourselves is, as I erase this little thing right here, like, how did that go as far as work process? We stacked up a ton of QA, and then these guys had to magically somehow, at the end, all hands on deck, whatever, maybe shoddily do the work, get them over here. Oh, God. Frantically at the last couple days, all right? Thinking in, like, increments, like, thinking in sprints, iterations, just trying to, like, time box in a sense, like, what would happen. If there was no time box, which flow as we go through, the work in QA would just stack up, stack up, stack up, and the dev people would just be working. And then as they get down the road, like the stuff that they're working on, like, man, devs worked on that weeks ago. It's just stacking up. Finally, they get it. Maybe they're not fresh in their mind. It takes longer to fix it. And like, there's this frantic push to go down. Now, the question I'd ask is, like, as you're halfway through here, like, how good an understanding of, like, how, like, it looks like the project's doing terrible, 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 then, like, magic at the end. Like, that doesn't really progress well. Like, I don't understand how things are going. So it's really not helping us, the burn down chart. Now, that's without whip limits, okay? So that's what it looks like without whip limits. We'll keep it there red. Now, let me pull all these things back over. All right, let me see if I can pull them over at the same time. Sweet, I missed one. Now, same amount of work, but let's go get our whip limits. All right, and so let's just say there's 2 developers and 1 QA dude. All right, so what's going to happen now? All right, so first day, what happens? Everybody shows up, new world, bing, bing. They start working on their stuff, cranking it. There's no work in QA, so they just kind of chill out. They're waiting, they're watching. I'm excited. Into day 1, maybe one dude goes over here and pulls it in there. And so, yep, the QA guy starts cranking away on it, right? That guy pulls his work in there. This guy maybe at the end of day 1 pulls it in to done, throws it out there. Let's just say at the end of day 1, well, he can't do that, right? I tried to do it. I tried to throw it in doing, but there's a limit on 1. I can't do it in there. So end of day 1, just one dude pulled his thing in there and he was able to get it done. So how much has been finished? We'll do green this time. That's a ramble. But as long as you follow the point, we're good. So we start out the same spot. End of day 1, we're right here. Same thing, like Christmas, green and red. All right, so what happens now? So as we go into this, day 2, let's think about what happens. This is a new job. This is a job here that's like done in a sense, but we've put a whip limit here that we can't bring anything more. 2's got to be in this entire bucket. That's the max. So this dude is done with his work, right? Because he delivered this one, but the next day he can't do anything because there ain't no place to put it, like over here. So what would he do? Well, he could decide either to help this dude do his work in a thing called pair programming, potentially, like working together. He could be like, yo, I can't take on a new job, but ain't nothing to say I can't help you. So he could help that get done, which is cool. Or since he just helped build this, right? He just built it. He could say, QA dude, while you have little bugs and things, I'm here. I got fingers. I got eyes. I'll fix it. Because the code and the work is so fresh in his mind and he gets it through. So he could be there and help there. Boom, they work through it. Instead of the work piling up, they get it done on day 2. Boom, it moves to done. What happens on day 2? Let's go through here. The green thing. Let's go back to green. Here we go. And into day 2, bang, we're right here. We've got 9 because we got 1 done. Look, there's a deviation. And then as we go back, day 3, what would happen? Bang, they pull this next one in there. this guy pulls here, and then maybe this one goes to done. And you know what happens? Like this dude probably helps that dude. And it goes on, and they're pushing the work through. Bang. This other guy goes there. He does this. This gets done. But he's got to wait. So they're working collaboratively together to push through things. And they're moving it. So end of day, I don't even know what we're on day. Day 1, 2, day 3, they get another one done. So bang, they're on to, let's go back to 8. So bang, they're on to 8. Then maybe there's a flurry day. The next day, they get like, oh, they get this one done. This guy brings it in there. He helps work. He starts working here. This guy gets it done. They get this one done on the next day. They get this done there. They get it done. So maybe the next day they get 2 things done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 things done. Whoa, maybe there was a massive drop. I don't know. I'm making this stuff up as we go. So what did it say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the 3rd day, 1, 2, 3. On the 4th day, we're down to 5. Bang. That has a big drop, right? And then maybe what's happening? So you see what's happening. Like this work is flowing across here and here, because these dudes aren't sitting around like the Maytag man just being like, all don't work. They're going to be involved with the QA, talking about it, figuring it out, thinking through it, fixing the bugs, as they go through it collaboratively and moving it through there, right? So it's not like this guy gets blocked and he's like, I have no help. It's like he's got this dude to help him. So he moves it to done. Boom, maybe next day. Maybe a day, we don't say the rosiest. Maybe those guys get hammered on. Let me see. They get whatever. They can't get it done. They get blocked. They're trying to figure it out. It takes time. That's life, whatever. So maybe it stagnates for a day or 2. Cool, whatever. And then, they finally get it done. They bring something over. They bring this over. They get it going. All these days, you see how it's flowing through. So as I just kind of like rambled to show pictures, like as we get down to 3, 2, 1, it shows a much different image of how the work's being done. Now, we got to the same spot, in the same amount of time. Maybe we finished a little bit faster, but how we did it. And so look at the 2 pictures, right? Look at those 2 pictures. Halfway through, like let's just draw, like what's our visibility to how the work's being done? It's very different. First of all, we've produced things, actually finished here. So if we wanted to, if it was, possible, we could have released this stuff in the flow model, right? We could have like taken these first couple and like put them into production, give them to the customer or whatever. So that's happiness, instead of just piling it up at the end. But it also creates a cleaner picture about what's happening. Okay. Now, if we operate in this model with WIP limits, if we were to operate with WIP limits and there was problems, all right, we knew that if things aren't flowing, it's because we have issues. Then the picture up on the red side, we don't know if things are going well or not going well. But if we operate with WIP limits and things end up on this path like this, then we go, oh my God, things aren't flowing. Things aren't flowing. That indicates that we have a problem, because it should look relatively like this green line. Okay? This is just how work flows through a system. All right? And so, okay, let's say halfway through the work, as we're just rambling through here, and there's a dude, like I like this guy named Paul Clip online. He's like a practitioner, software company guy. I watched some videos on this, and it makes sense because this is the way we work. What if we get through here and there's like some work, and maybe halfway through there's like some done stuff. One thing that he talks about is, how do you visualize how long work's been in the system? So what if we put a little pink circle for every day that something's been in the pot? So like this, maybe that took 3 days to get through, whatever. This has been here for 1 day. Maybe this has been there for 4 days. Maybe this has been there. Like if something got picked up or, clogged up, you'd say, oh my God, just looking at the board as I just lost those circles. Imagine those circles are all on here, right? Because I just screwed it up. But if that sticky, and I'll just make the circles for fun again. If that circle had 4 or 5 stickies, there's no way when you went to the board, you would say like, hey, QA, you've had this for 5 days. Think about bigger teams. What do we got to do to get this out? What problems are we having? And then look at the consequences. It's log jamming this dude down here to say his has been sitting for 4 days or something like that. Actually, that would be log jamming everybody, but it brings a visual way to do it. So Kanban, what do we say? creates a visual picture, helps us manage flow. You got to have WIP limits. You got to have doing and done categories. Inside there, you could have the blocked category that bring more visibility to it. You're just trying to get the conversation going and get it to go there. So that is just like an extra lesson about how to think about this and why WIP and managing it is super duper important, because it helps focus us on the work that needs to be done. All right, so that's Kanban. A little bonus lesson as you learn through. Try it in your life. Stop starting a bajillion things. And I'm talking to Scott, me. Scott, stop starting stuff. Start finishing stuff and start managing the issues as you go through the flow. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon. Keep going. Bye.